Thailand versus the Philippines. This video is one that was requested by some of you some time ago, so I thought I better get round to making it. Let's start with Thailand. Now, Thailand is bordered by Malaysia, Myanmar, Laos and Cambodia, and the Philippines is bordered by, well, the sea basically. Thailand consists of 1,400 plus islands, and the Philippines has more than 7,500 islands, so there's a huge difference there. In Thailand, the number of expats is estimated to be upwards of 3 million. That's a lot. In the Philippines, the number of foreigners, expats, is only approximately 200,000. So once again, we've got huge difference between Thailand and the Philippines. So before we get into this video in depth, I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. And if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. And it's really important that you press that like button because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, let's get into the video in a bit more detail. So just before we start, guys, a wee disclaimer. I haven't actually lived in Thailand, but I've been to several places. I've been to Phuket, Bangkok, Pattaya, Koh Samui, Krabi. I think I've been in Phuket upwards of 12, 13 times. So yeah, I've experienced it over a number of years since 2009. The Philippines, some of you may or may not know, but I actually live in the Philippines. My wife and my son and me, we have a house there, and we've had the house for about just over 3 years, I think. So yeah, about 3.5 to 4 years I think it is now. I'm not living there 100% at the moment, but I'm retiring this year, so I will be there full time sometime, probably towards the end of this year. So Thailand and the Philippines both have similar climates. They're tropical countries, you get a lot of rain, and both of them are very green. Let's start with accommodation. Now, it's difficult to compare accommodation in two different countries. So the way I thought would be the fairest would be to look at the capital cities, so Bangkok and Manila. So let's start with Bangkok. You can see here we have 2-bedroom apartment, what I would call semi-furnished, and it will have all the amenities, swimming pool, gym, and that price works out around just over $500 US. Now when we look at Manila, again, 2-bedroom apartment, semi-furnished, with all the amenities, similar price, $500 plus. So when it comes to accommodation, you can get very, very similar, you know, Bangkok, Manila. Yes, you can pay more, yes, you can pay less. This is just to give you a similar example of accommodation in Bangkok and Manila. The next thing I want to talk about is cost of living. Now, the cost of living includes food, utility bills. You could include the rent in there as well if you so wish, but I wanted to keep that separate. So when it comes to cost of living, I would say they're both sort of similar, especially when you go into the provinces, you know, outside of the big cities. Eating out, again, you know, it's difficult to compare, but you can eat out street food, what I would call street food, very, very cheaply. And that's the same in the Philippines and Thailand. So when it comes to the food, I mean, I love both. Thai food, I would say, is more, you have more choices, and you can probably say that it's more spicy in general. but I love both types of food. So what about entertainment, nightlife? Obviously when you're in Manila and Bangkok, you'll have the nightlife. But in my experience, when you go to the Philippines and you go outside of Manila, you'll struggle to find a similar style of nightlife. You go to Thailand, especially the tourist places like Phuket, Krabi, Koh Samui, you've got really good nightlife. So I would say Philippines is lacking a wee bit when it comes to nightlife outside of what I would call the big cities. Also included in entertainment could be places to visit, tourist places. I would say Thailand has probably got more choice. And the Philippines, I don't want to talk about the beaches as being a tourist attraction because I want to do that separately. In Thailand you can go to an elephant sanctuary, maybe sanctuary is not the right word, an elephant attraction. Now you can also see tigers, different types of animals. Now whether you agree with it or not is a different subject. Me personally, I don't agree with it. I know these animals some of them are probably mistreated, they'll be drugged, but they're there, they're available to see. Now when you go to the Philippines you might struggle with something like that. So when it comes to the tourist attractions, yes, of course there are other tourist attractions, but I would say Thailand, you got more choices. So that brings me around to beach resorts. Now I would say, when you go to places like Phuket, Koh Lipe, Koh Samui, beautiful, beautiful island resorts. In the Philippines you've got Boracay, you've got Palawan, El Nido, Siargao, all these places. Very, very similar. We've been to Phi Phi Island in Phuket, or just outside of Phuket a few times, and it's beautiful there. You can go snorkeling, diving. It's the same in the Philippines. So I would say they're pretty much similar. When it comes to accommodation, I would say Thailand is more geared up for tourism compared to the Philippines. Certainly the places we've been to, even when you go to Pattaya in Thailand, beautiful beach, and you'll see really nice sunsets in both countries. Thailand, Philippines, you'll see beautiful sunsets, sunrises. So they're very, very similar when it comes to beach resorts. I would say there's probably more availability for flights when it comes to Thailand. I think in the Philippines, everywhere you go, more or less, you have to go through Manila, especially if you're living out in the province. Whereas in Thailand, you can access Phuket, you can access Koh Samui, you can access other places, and you can fly to these places direct from other countries, whereas in the Philippines it's a bit different. Most of the time you're either flying to Manila or Cebu and then onwards from there. So, Thailand is definitely leading that one. The next thing I want to talk about is locals and culture. So let's start with Thailand. In Thailand, I love the Thai people, the culture, everything. The only problem I would foresee is maybe the language barrier. Their English is not as good as the Philippines. In the Philippines, the people are lovely, friendly, and the majority speak very good English. Some would say better than me. So I would say the Philippines comes out on top when it comes to locals and culture. For me personally, I'm Christian, and in the Philippines, Christianity is the the most popular religion. I'm not religious, but it kind of suits me to be in that environment, if you understand what I mean. Whereas you go to Thailand, it's like a foreign entity. You know, it doesn't bother me one iota. You know, the religious thing doesn't bother me at all. I just thought I would mention it, that maybe I feel a wee bit more at home in the Philippines. So guys, what comes out on top? Is it Thailand or the Philippines? Well, I would say the majority of foreigners being in Thailand speaks for itself. That's not to say the Philippines is second best. It's whatever suits the individual. If you like the family life like me, if you like the quiet life like me, I haven't always been like this, by the way, but when you get older, your likes and your wants change with age. So the Philippines suits me. Obviously my wife is Filipina, and my son, we can call him half Filipino, half Scottish. It suits me to be in the Philippines, and I love it. So, you know, I hope this comparison has given you a good idea between Thailand and the Philippines. If you're single and you're a bit younger than me, well, maybe quite a bit, Thailand. If you're a bit older, like me, maybe the Philippines. It really depends on the individual. There'll be comparisons between Thai women and Filipino women. I've heard some, and I've read some horrendous stories about Thai women. You know, foreigners getting taken for a ride. But maybe you'll hear similar stories in the Philippines. I would say it's more prevalent in Thailand, in my experience. Don't shoot me down in flames, guys. This is just my opinion. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this short video, and cheers. Catch you in the next one.